just doing a very short video. I have my seedlings. I started these 3 weeks ago, well 3 weeks and 1 day ago, and I just have them outside. In about a week I'll be actually planting them out into the garden. These are my cool weather veggies. They can handle a light frost, but I don't want them to really be exposed to anything below, 30 degrees if I can help it. So I'll be putting them out next week, but I have started acclimating them to the outdoors, especially since we've had such nice sunny weather. But what I'm doing in this video today, one, I just wanted to show the growth on these little guys, but also wanted to show how to thin seedlings. As you can see, a lot of these have more than one growing in them, and for these particular plants I actually don't need extras, and I don't need more than one growing in these cell trays or the little containers I have them in. So I'm going to go ahead and thin these out now. Pretty much everything has true leaves. The only thing I'm not thinning today is the celery. It's just still so tiny. I'm going to let that grow a little more, and I probably won't plant that out when I plant everything else out. But I'm going to go ahead and thin these before I take them back inside and get them under the lights. So to thin seedlings, it's essentially you just take a look and see how many plants. So here, this beet plant, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, I have 5 of these in here. And that's partly because the beet seeds, often the individual beet seeds have more than one plant within them. They're usually a few seeds actually together. And so they often will sprout more than one plant individually. And then if I put in more than one seed, then that's what we have. So the way to thin these is actually pretty simple. I just like to cut them off. Now with the beets, these are rainbow beets. So I want to get a variety of colors. So when I thin them, I'm going to be a little bit selective. Like I'm going to thin probably ones that I don't see as many of. So for instance, like I have a lot of these red ones here, but I don't have many that have these like orange stems. So there'll probably be those golden beets. So I'm going to probably keep more of those so that I can get a nice variety. There's more than just gold and red. They're all kind of different. So I'm going to thin so that I have a variety. And then the other plants I'm going to thin just so that I just have one of them in each cell. So thinning, I literally just, I'm trying to do this while holding my camera, y'all, so forgive me if it's not perfect. I'm just going to take my scissors and cut right there, because I don't want to pull out and damage the roots of the plants that I'm keeping. So, and then I just kind of, I'm breaking this with my fingernail because I didn't cut deeply enough. But yeah. And so, that's it. So let me get this one. Now I get to choose between these two. I like them both, they're beautiful. But I'm gonna grab this guy. All right, and there we go. So now I'm down to one beet plant in this cell. So I'm gonna do the same thing for all of my beets. And the way I'll thin the other plants is just the same. This is some lacinato kale here. Now whenever you're thinning, always leave the one that looks the strongest and the best and thin the other one. So you can use scissors, but sometimes you actually can pinch it. It might be easier. Like I said, I don't pull it because I don't want to damage the roots, but I can pinch this guy with my fingernails. There. And now I've left the one that looked the strongest to me. Now, these greens are completely edible, so if you're thinning a lot of plants, you can take them inside and make a nice little salad with what's left. Thin it out and take all those greens and you can eat them. So keep that in mind too. You don't have to throw these away. They're perfectly edible. And I definitely recommend eating these greens. So here's what they look like now. Now the lettuce I'm not thinning. I let lettuce just grow and live its life and grow in a bunch. So this is the Paris Island and this is the Grand Rapids lettuce. I just let that grow. I'm gonna transplant it into, like, this will have a little square for itself, and I'm just gonna let it grow like that all together. So I'm not thinning the lettuce out, but everything else I'm gonna thin down to one plant per cell. All right. So let me go ahead and do this. I'm gonna set the camera down so you guys don't have to watch that. So here the seedlings are completely thinned just one plant per cell, except for, of course, the lettuce. This is the next day. I got sidetracked yesterday and didn't finish until the evening. So you can probably tell. I tried to put the configuration the same so you can easily see the difference, but it's also very windy today, which is good. Seedlings need a little wind. So I'll leave them out here, you know, for several hours, and then I'll take them back in. And by the time I actually plant them outside next week, they will have developed some strength from, you know, dealing with this wind, and also be acclimated to actual sunshine instead of just the actual grow lights. But these seedlings look great. I'm very proud of them. It's always really one of the most rewarding things about growing stuff from seed is that you get to actually see something go from seemingly nothing to plants. So it's just really happy with these, and I always recommend growing from seed when you can, because one, you have plants that you've started from the beginning, and two, it's just incredibly economical, y'all. Imagine if I wanted to buy all these plants, it would cost, you know, a small fortune to buy all of these when you're looking at $2-3 a plant for some of these, whereas it didn't cost very much at all. So here are the seedlings. This is 3 weeks in. Next week at 4 weeks I'll be planting them out, except probably this celery. It's just still really small celery. It takes a little while to get started, but you still can grow it from seed. It just takes a little while. So that I'll probably give a little while longer. But as long as the weather's nice, I'll probably still bring it outside, even if I'm going to leave it in the trays for a couple more weeks. So it's getting natural sunshine. But yeah, I'll probably let that get a little bigger before it goes out. But the Chinese celery, as you can see, grows quite a bit faster because I started all of these the same day. And this is the Chinese celery, so it's quite a bit bigger. So I'll be planting that out with everything else. Alright, so here's the update. Remember, thin your seedlings.